Almost done setting up, and I do have 7:30, so it's time to start. Once YouTube gives me the thumbs up that it's streaming, we'll go. All right, folks, we're streaming on YouTube. Again, my name is David Rutz. I want to thank you all for being here tonight. Let me just make sure the recording streaming is accurate. Let me get rid of all the participants view, speaker view. There we go. Okay. I appreciate you all being here. My name is David Rutz, and I really appreciate whoever invited you out to come look at this income opportunity because DAC is, we're almost 10 years old and we're celebrating our success. We've been profitable every year and we've helped thousands of businesses to get funding. And that's what you're here to learn about, a business funding opportunity where you can become a business funding agent. And the industry is screaming right now in a good way. Very, very fast growth because it's desperately needed by business owners. They're either growing and need capital or they're in tight times and need capital and banks can't help. And that's the industry we serve. We've already funded hundreds of millions of dollars, paid out tens of millions of dollars in commissions. So our model is not under review. It's proven. It's just whether or not it fits you. So we're going to go through some slides for you tonight so you can understand our business better, where we fit in the marketplace, and what would be required of you. And so you can determine whether or not this is for you. Fair enough? Let me go to my slideshow. It won't take but a minute to get us live. Okay, that's the slide. Let's go. So here we go. First slide. Launch a six-figure funding business by helping small businesses get funding. That's what we do. We serve business owners. We can lead a team if we want to, and we get paid very well to do both. This is a huge opportunity, as I said, because business owners need funding. And most cannot get funded at their bank. We get them funding fast. You get paid for referring them, and you can build a team as well if you want to. Why you'll love this and why they'll love this, there's no license required. It's free to start. You get daily pay, team overrides as well, and it's home based. You literally could have commissions coming in to your business this week. It's flexible, it's scalable, and it can be done online. You and your team can create a money machine. An example, you refer a business to us, we handle all the funding. They get an $80,000 funding, you earn $3,200 this week. Someone in your team does it. You refer someone who becomes an agent. They do that. They earn that 3,200. You earn 320 to 1,600 for referring them. Imagine if you had 10 agents or 50, or you can do the math. Now, what do you actually do is simply refer a business who needs funding. You refer them to the David Allen Capital Funding Platform. We go out, find the best offer for them. We handle all that for you. Our internal team talks to your clients and your team's clients. You earn on all your own deals and any of your team deals as well. Why business funding? Well, because millions of businesses can't get funding from their bank. It's the most underserved market in America. 30 million small businesses, 27 million are not bankable. This isn't because they have bad credit. This isn't like mortgages or cars. Bank loans require collateral. Most businesses don't own their buildings. They rent from someone. And they don't have credit, and they don't have profitability, and all the other stuff. But even if someone has an 800 credit score, they can't get a business loan unless they own the building they're in and they have 2 years profit and the business plan's reviewed by the bank. It's very tough. Most businesses fail. But you have an opportunity to be the difference maker for them between helping them grow or helping them to close. I was that business owner on the left. I can't keep growing without cash. And my bank wouldn't give it to me. That's why this company exists. 10 years ago, that happened to me in a juice beverage company I owned. I still own it, but I had to partner with someone else because I couldn't fund the growth. Banks couldn't help me. That was the motive behind this business. See, the number one reason businesses fail is they say lack of access to capital. But you say, wait a minute, isn't that what the bank's for? I think we've made it clear the banks aren't the answer for most. They're great for 10% of the businesses out there who own their buildings, fit all their criteria, but 90% are not qualified. Why are so many rejected? Well, traditional banks require, as I already said, collateral. That's the most important and the hardest thing. That means a building, real estate, something. You also have to have 2 years profitable tax returns. Do you know 6 in 10 businesses are breaking even or losing money? So 6 and 10 are already eliminated by 2 years profitable tax returns. 700 FICO score. Most business owners don't have a 700 FICO score either. Business plan approved, long complex app, 1 to 3 month wait decision. Less than 1 million businesses in America qualify for a business bank loan. Less than a million businesses qualify for a bank loan. So a new industry was started. I learned of it. I got excited about it as well. It's called alternative capital. It's for business owners only. It's no collateral required funding. Huh. All we say is we need to see that you're doing revenue though. As long as you're doing revenue, at least 15,000 a month in the last 3 months, your lowest month can't be under 15,000, then guess what? Your FICO score doesn't matter as much. You can use the funds any way you want. It's a 5-minute online app. You get an answer in a day and fund it in a day. Over 9 million businesses qualify with $15,000 a month or more. And there's another 20 million businesses under 15 grand a month that we can help with our instant funding. Come on now. So alternative capital industry, it's a $300 billion industry most businesses don't even know exists. I didn't when I partnered my company. I had to sell my company or merge it with someone because I couldn't get capital. I didn't know about this industry. 2024, we are up to 284 million. It's expected to grow to 378 billion, not million, billion by 2028. This is huge. Our first goal is just get 1% of the market. And then that's 3 billion in funding, 210 million in agent commissions per year. Then 2%, then 3, then 4, then 10. We are on the move right now. Finally, business funding that works for the other 90%. Here's the problem with working capital though. There's a lot of lenders. There's over 100, and many of them are shady and scammy, unfortunately. And business owners don't know the difference because they all put up colorful brochures. And even though we've been in this 10 years and we've gotten rid of all the bad ones and we only work with the most credible 20, even of the top 20, there isn't one that's best for every business. We've got thousands of businesses applying every month, and there's not one funder that's best for all of them. So it's like, what's the airline that's best for you? Depends on where you're flying, depends on the time you're flying, depends on what you want to pay, depends on how much seating room you want, depends on how many people are going, depends on what kind of luggage you're taking, right? There's all kinds of things that vary. Same thing with funding. Industry type matters, monthly sales amount, time in business, credit scores, and they change each quarter based on the economy and other things like that. So what did DAC do to solve this? We launched a funding platform. One application, all the top funders compete to bring the best offer quickly to your customer. So you just refer a client to the funding platform. They fill out a 5-minute app. 20 providers compete, give the best offer. Our expert team is talking to your clients. They answer all the questions. They deliver the best offer to your client for you. They answer all the questions, take all the objections, make sure the clarity is understood, and then the client gets funded and you get paid sometimes next day, always within the next week. Simple and convenient solution for the unbankable 90%. So what kind of money are businesses getting? Generally, you get a half to 2 times your monthly revenue for the ones over 15,000 a month. The instant funders are lower. But for the business we're focused on, the 15,000 a month and up, it's usually a half to 2 times. That means a business doing 40,000 will get 20 to 80,000. Let me give you an example. We had a client today come back. They got money from us in the past, and they got $80,000 more today. Okay, I don't know what kind of business it was. Wade just told me about Nick, one of our presenters here, just had another client get a renewal today. I'm thinking it was a hardscape business, landscape business. But I can think of my very first client was a cardboard box manufacturer. And he wanted to buy, he needed an inventory discount and he needed $250,000. And his bank would give it to him. He banked with Chase. They'd give him the money, but they wanted him to put up collateral and they needed a month. He said, I don't have a month. It's an inventory discount. I need the money by tomorrow. We got him $250,000 in a day. In a day. So you can see how sometimes they need it fast. Now he was doing well over 250,000 a month in sales. I have another client who owned a ice cream shop. I talk about this one a lot because it's near and dear to me because he had an ice cream shop and then took money from us in advance and bought a second location. Grew the both up. Took money from us, got a third location, grew them all up, took money from us, got a fourth location. Thank God, because a month after his fourth location opened, a hurricane came through and washed out the first 3. So he still had one business left. Thank God. because of our business helping to expand. So you can see the type capital that we can give. The term lengths are very short. You go, well, what are the rates? We don't use rates. Why? Let me tell you this. What is 12% annualized cost you? What's the APR? 12%, and there's a prepayment discount, and you have 5 years compounded monthly. What is it going to cost you? Who knows, right? You may know if you're a finance whiz, but most people have no clue. So what we say is dollars. We're telling you what it's going to cost. Let me give you an example. You give me $10. I say you got to pay me back 12. What's it costing you? $2. What's the percentage? Who cares? It's $2, right? We do the same thing here. Then business owners can say yes immediately or no immediately. Over 80% of the time, they accept the offer. The repayment is 1.18 to 1.5 times the borrowed amount typically. That means someone gets 100,000, they're going to pay back 118 to 150. Let's say you came to us and we offered you $100,000, said, here's 100, you got to pay back 130. You know it's costing you 30 grand. Do the benefits outweigh the cost? If so, you say yes and proceed. If not, you say no thanks. I need cheaper money, or I don't need the money that bad. But most business owners take 100,000 and turn it into 3 or 400,000. They don't mind paying 130, right? And again, back to how's it compared to a bank loan? Banks use APRs and a bunch of confusing stuff. Banks are okay. We're not their enemies. They send us a lot of referrals. But what does 12% really cost? 1.34 over 5 years. You're paying 134,000 if you got 100. Very similar to what we charge. Difference is we get you approved, you got to pay it back sooner, right? So it's a quicker payback. But the key is we give the best offer. We don't determine the pricing. What is Travelocity? Well, how much does Travelocity sell their flights for? Whatever Delta tells them, whatever United tells them. We don't determine the pricing. You don't determine the pricing. All that we do is report the best offers we've gotten and let the client decide. We don't determine what it's going to cost. We just find the best offer, present it. And if it's not the best offer, we'll give your client $500. Imagine Travelocity saying it's the lowest price airline, or we'll give you $500. And you can go direct to Delta. We're cheaper. We're going to get you the best offer, even if you go direct to the provider. Why? They're competing for your business. This is the most convenient way for businesses to get capital. Our company's been around. We're a Michigan-based company. We'll be 10 years old in August. Going to celebrate that, of course. I've got over 30 years helping people start their own business. Our corporate team over 100 years collectively. We launched the Bank Breezy funding platform. We've got over 300,000 clients who've used that platform. And it's our goal to have 100,000 active agents in our business doing well. Look at our Trustpilot score, 4.6. So we're ranked well. The market's screaming, as I said, but who's paying attention? Want to see opportunity for you here? I know people in the real estate industry who do very well as real estate agents. It's a great industry. But look at the comparison. 4.7 million homes sold last year, and there's 3 million licensed agents. That means the average agent can sell 1.58 homes. That's it. So they're all competing with each other for the homes, right? And now pros are pros, but there's a lot of agents who are being left out. With our business, there's over 9 million businesses at 15,000 or higher, not counting the 20 million instant funders. 9 million, and there's not even 100,000 agents in our industry. I'm not talking about in our company, in our industry. That's over 90 businesses per agent right now, not 1.5, 90. That is huge. We give you your websites. They can learn more about it. There's frequently asked questions. They go fill out this little form. And then the Bank Breezy team takes over, finds the best offer, presents it to them within a day. Is that cool? Yeah, it's very cool. We give you social posts to share. We literally post social posts every day. You can share videos. We just put up a new video today, social post today. You share that. We provide all that for you. The key is business success starts with you, but it also is riding the back of a proven system. We've already converted thousands of clients. So we're not guessing what the headline should be or what the app should do or what email the client should get or how to present the client with the offer. We've already helped thousands of clients. You get the benefit of that. All you have to do is refer, meet, greet, and inform. You help businesses grow. You get paid fast with big bonuses. Meet, greet, inform that capital does exist. Let our team take over. We also have merchant processing. Our dual pricing erases the business owner's fees and boosts their profit. You can refer that to them. We've got health sharing. It cuts the cost, but not the care. It's what I use for my family. Most families save 60 to 80%. One caveat, you can't have pre-existing conditions. You can't be in the middle of a disease situation enjoying this. It's a health share. But if you don't, you can get on and save 60 to 70%. It's unbelievable. My family's saving $7,000 a year, and we have lower deductible and better coverage. It's spectacular. You'll learn about that in training. Our bread and butter is our funding. We are a funding company. We just see so many businesses. We got into payment processing. We got into the health share when I used it for my family. We don't lead with it, but we offer it. Let's talk about how you get paid. Now, do you see the market size, first of all, how millions of business owners need it? You fund a client, you get paid the next day. You're one conversation away from your next payday, and there's no limit. Every funding is a bonus, and it's paid fast. You earn typically 3 to 4% of the funding, but it's really 40 to 80% of the bonus revenue we get on it. Sometimes bonus revenue is reduced to make the deal happen, but it's typically you're going to earn 3 to 4% of the funding. You help someone get 80 grand, 3,200. Coast to coast, anywhere in the United States. You help someone get 240,000, 9,600. These are ballpark. Sometimes it'll be a little lower, sometimes a little higher, right? Coast to coast funding. That gives you an example. But remember, it doesn't stop. It doesn't stop there. Okay, we have quiet money month after month as well. You earn on the payment processing and the healthcare. As an example, you sign up a small restaurant, 100,000 a month. You're making about 250 a month, 3,000 a year. That adds up. How many of those do you know? So when you consider the business funding bonuses and the millions of businesses who need funding, and then the residual, it really does add up fast. But keep in mind, it doesn't stop with you. Just like Century 21 doesn't stop with the broker. They all have agents in EXP and Keller Williams, right? You are allowed to build an agent team as well. You never have to, but you can. We call it Agent Addition, and we'll pay you 10% minimum of all of their base income, not just their first funding, but every funding they refer. So give an example, you introduce this agent over here. This agent helps someone get 80 grand, which is our average preferred funding. 80, in fact, it's been averaging over 100,000 now for the last couple months, but let's just say 80,000 is the average. You help someone, they're going to make about $3,200. You get paid from DAC direct 10%. You don't have to pay the agent out of your money. We pay the agent. They're independent agents. With DAC, you earn an override of 10% minimum, $320 paid by DAC. It doesn't come out of that 3,200. And if you're at the 50% level, you get 1,600. The only difference is, are you getting clients yourself? If so, then you're at the 50% level. Think of it like getting paid on your agent sales for life, because you are. You get an override, but we base it on what they earn. Let's say this is your team. You build a team you believe in. You got all these people throughout the country. The person in Austin, Texas, there, or Houston, they're not doing so well. They made zero. But everyone else made some money this year. Let's say, by the way, they didn't lose any money, did they? Because we're free. But let's say you're at the 10% minimum level, 7 grand up there in Montana, 3,000 on Milwaukee, 3,000 on Seattle, 4,000 on Boston, 14,000 Denver. Look at this. And as this adds up, you can see it can get quite largeable. What if you're at the that's a new word. What if you're at the 50% level? So your whole team made 600 grand between them. If you're at the 10% minimum, you can't make less than the minimum, $60,000 you earn in overrides. And what if you're at 50%? That's 300 grand. And that's just if they made 600,000 for the whole year. What if they were making 600,000 a month? Well, then your income's at 300,000 a month. It's crazy, I know. But there's real estate agents and brokers who do that. And there's much larger industry here, right? But it multiplies from there. So your agents can recruit other agents. And what that does is it gives you override income. And you can unlock earnings on thousands of agents in your team. And what happens is, let's say these are your agents you referred and their agents, right? They're all making money. They're all making paychecks, helping businesses. They're all referring clients and getting paid. And as this team continues to grow and grow and grow, you can qualify to earn overrides on every one of them. You'll average about $100 per funding. So if you have 10 fundings in your group this week, 1,000. What if you have 100 fundings in your group this week? What if you have 100 in this year, right? So you get a $100 bill each time as an override on average. So you got your personal commissions, about $3,000 average. Agency enroller, when you enroll a personal agent, you make minimum 10%. It's going to average $300 on the low end. And the overrides on thousands of agents, potentially $100 on average. So you can earn personal commissions, teams, and teams team. That's how the income scales and stacks up. And it doesn't stop there. We have tools and training for you. We have a proven sales process you just follow. We give you a client team back office. We have a training vault with trainings, bingeable lessons. We're just working on some new lessons today. We just did some new trainings today. We're always doing new trainings that you can learn from, proven things. We don't train it unless it's proven. Plug and play agent resource center and marketing, social posts, websites, scripts already documented. Our website already converts. You don't have to worry about how do I make a sales page, pay for experts, all that. We got it all. It would cost you over $5,000 elsewhere. Here, it's complimentary. It's not free. We're paying for it, but we give it to you for free. We have a private agent community, 24/7 Facebook group you can participate with. We have daily live coaching every day at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. We have a pro who does an inner circle training. You don't have to pay to be on the inner circle. You just have to show up and want it and be ambitious. They take questions every day until the questions are done. Free agent support team. It's real people with real answers. This isn't a chat bot system. These are real people. And leadership, your leaders and corporate, we only earn if you earn. Do you realize the leaders here who are helping you, they don't earn unless you make money. You're never alone. You're never flying blind. And other brokers to use this Frank Breezy funding platform have to pay $30,000 annually to use it. Right? It gets you access to the 20 funders who compete, instant approvals, best offer guarantee, full expert support, client engagement, normally $30,000 a year for outside agents. Again, complimentary to you. Why? DAC created it. That's why. So you get it complimentary. Our guarantee, we're not going to make money on you. We don't make a dime until you made a dollar. Most programs profit off you up front. Startup fees, platform fees, monthly fees, training charges. They win even if you lose. Do you know 95% of the people in real estate never sell a home, but they still pay thousands to be real estate agents, right? Still a great industry. Many people aren't going to make money here too, but they won't lose money. They're not going to pay us money. We flip the script. No fees, no risk, no fine print. That's not hype. That's how we built this. If you can talk to business owners, you can win. There's over 9 million businesses at 20,000 a month and up that need funding. You can help, plus 20 million instant fundings. Small business solution, earn daily proven sites. Real solution, real need. There's no barriers, no excuses. We've got rid of them all. Part-time, no license are required. Red tapes, zero to launch, zero risk, work from anywhere. You can launch in a day. You can have compensation this week, create your own money machine, get paid fast, daily on your teams, and you're never alone. If you can follow a system and talk to business owners, this works. It's only a matter of time as you inform business owners. So someone goes, I could use some funding. Heck yes, I can. I can't get it in my bank. What kind of offer can you get me? Generally about a half to 2 times your monthly sales. You're kidding. What, I could do this and that with $100,000. Yeah. What's it going to cost? Between 1.2 and 1.5. You get 100, you're going to pay back 120 to 150. Ooh, that's expensive. Okay, it's not for you. Or you're kidding. I can turn that 100 into 400,000. Yeah, then you should take the 120 to 150 repayment, right? Yeah, let's see what we come up with. We'll get you an offer today. Are you in? Are you curious? Or are you out? I'm not sure. This works. I've already said it works. We've already proven it works. Our Trustpilot reviews proves it. The hundreds of millions in fundings prove it. The tens of millions of commission proves it. We've proved this, but we also prove this isn't for everybody. Of course, not everyone who joins makes money, but everyone who does the business succeeds. So where do you stand? I'm going to go through the 4 steps of starting, and then you can roll with us. Okay. Number 1, get started. Whoever referred you will give you their link. You click on it, you fill out some forms, and you're live. Read your welcome email. It's got all your links and access to your back office. Then get trained. Your welcome email will show you the training. You want to watch videos 1 and 2. It's getting started video and funding training video. That unlocks the private game plan that you'll do later on. Then get going. The training will teach you what to do. Start sharing, start promoting it. We'll teach you how. Share the link for recruiting too if you want to recruit agents. We give you links for both. And then get yourself positioned with your first client and your first rep. You never have to recruit any teams, but you can if you choose to, then refer agents and reps. So choose your path. Do you want to be a solo agent, never building a team? No problem. Just share the funding links, get the funding training and share it. Earn great commissions. Do you want to be a team builder? Great. Get customers and refer. If you're getting customers, you earn more on the people you personally refer. You automatically get 10% of their income, but you can make 50 if you're getting customers. The person I mentioned our buddy Nick, who got an $80,000 funding today, his dad, who is his enroller, is amped up. So he's making 50% of what his son made. And his son, I think, is double amped. So he's making like 70% of the bonus revenue. So guys, if you're getting clients, you maximize the pay plan. If you're not, you still get 10% on anyone you personally enroll. Or do you want to be a market leader? And you say, hey, you got to be kidding me. There's millions of businesses. You guys are becoming like the Rocket Mortgage of, yeah, we are. We're the first movers at creating a movement like this. And we've got a moat around us. It costs us almost $1 million a year just to operate, to give this away for free. And that doesn't count the variable cost, right? That's just a fixed cost of doing this business. And we're growing like this. We're growing like this. And every day, what is there? Maybe, I don't know how many people are on here. There's not a lot, but there'll be 400 or 500 people who watch us over the next week. Not thousands yet. There will come a day when we'll be adding thousands of agents every single week. And hopefully many of them will be in your team because you're a market leader. It's up to you. So which role fits you best? That's up to you to decide. And I'm going to stop sharing and just say this, it's an honor. I love, I've been doing presentations like this since 1991 when I got out of General Motors, and someone offered me a part-time business that I could work from my home. And back then, home-based wasn't a term. It was you're an entrepreneur or you're an employee, right? And I started working part-time in that business in the evenings and weekends, and I was able to earn enough in that part-time business to get out of my job, and I escaped the rat race, if you will. And I say that because that inspired me. That inspired me the same way the bank not giving me the money for my juice company inspired me to launch this company years later, to offer business funding to business owners. And I have a passion for that business owner. You can't stop me from offering funding to a business owner. We won't take anyone's head off. I'm not in the debt slinging business. DAC is debt free. David Rutz is debt free. I don't like debt. I don't believe in debt. I believe in leverage though. And if someone needs funding to take their business from A to Z and we can get them that funding, they should take the money and take their business to Z, right? So we're not peddling debt to make a commission. We're fueling business owners who are trying to grow their business. And we're not peddling your debt to join our business. We're not charging you a penny to join this business. We're fueling you and inspiring you, hopefully, to get out there and help business owners and get paid well. And if you don't make any money, we don't make any money. So what kind of business do we have if we don't have successful agents? Zero, losing $1 million a year. That's what we have. So what we have to do is help agents make money because we only get fundings when you get fundings. We only earn money when you get fundings, right? So you're not blind here. We're going to show you what you need to do. And you're not alone here. We're going to hold your hand because we don't win unless you win. But you got to be independent. You got to be a go-getter. You got to be ambitious. You got to be willing to step forward and go for it. And if you are, then rock and roll. All you got to do is hit that join now button if you're watching this in recording, but you're all here live. So you just need to go to our website. Whoever referred you is going to give it to you. Click join now. Fill out your information, read your welcome email, get through that get started training, get through that funding training, call your enroller and say, I'm ready for my game plan. Let's go. That's all it is. Then we do the game plan and we launch. It's really that simple. I'm personally, as the founder of this company, looking for more market leaders. Market leaders are looking for team builders. Team builders are looking for solo agents and team builders and market leaders because we can't become a market leader without market leaders. Market leaders will override markets. Markets they build, we don't give anything away. We just give opportunity away to override. Your first movers, it's a gold rush. Who's going to own Chicago? Don't know yet. It's not owned yet. Nobody's built Chicago out massive yet. Who's going to build out Miami massive? Don't know yet. San Diego? Not sure. LA? We're waiting. We got agents out there, but it's not a monopoly yet. This industry is so new. Our company is so small in the industry. We're not even 1% yet we're the fastest mover. We got lenders calling us wanting to acquire us. It's like Delta wanting to buy Travelocity. They want to acquire us because they see we are the future of funding. You guys are in the right place. We're in the right place, but we're not there without you, and you're not there without us. So let's rock and roll together. Join, get started. Let your teammate know whether you want to be a solo agent, team leader, or team builder or market leader. And let's rock and roll. My name is David Rutz, and I thank you for attending. And we're live, so that means you get to ask questions. If you're here, you got a question or comment, any of our agents want to make a comment, or if any new people have a question, I see Brandon Newsom's got his hand up. Brandon, we'll go to you first. And then I see Natafia, so we'll go to Natafia after that. But what do you got for us, Brandon?
In an earlier webinar, you had mentioned, well, today you had mentioned there are other lenders that can be a little shady, that you worked hard to curate the network.
Yep.
Um, I remember you had said that when a file is being evaluated by your team, that your team works with the lender and the lender doesn't contact the applicant until a certain time. And so my question about that and the concern was in the research that I've done in the industry itself, it seems like I want to make sure that when we submit to a lender, that lender isn't going to go around your back, our
Mhm.
back, and start trying to sell to them. So how does that work?
Absolutely. It's happened to us. So I know what you're talking about. In the early years, we had a lot of things like that. And you have to learn it by having it happen to you. We've learned which providers we can trust, which ones we can't. We've gotten agreements where they can't. There's big liability if they do. None of them do that we use. And we don't just add new lenders easily because of that. It's notorious in our industry. And it's not always the company's intent. Sometimes it's a rogue employee selling the information. So we no longer share the same way we used to all the content. The lenders won't reach out to the client at all. They're our clients unless they're the client, they're the lender we choose. So if we say, okay, you've won this deal, now we want to connect you with the client for special consideration. We need contracts. So they'll send contracts or they'll send them to us and we'll send. They'll set up a funding call to talk with the lender. So that's the only time those lenders are calling. In our relationship with them, we give them a lot of packages every month. So our relationship is don't violate that. You're going to win some business if you're the best. You're not going to win the business. You're not the best. Don't try to call them because you're not going to give them an offer anyway. We already know your offer is not better than what we're giving. So we just don't have that problem. Now, what I will say is we're always diligent about it. We're regularly talking to our lenders to make sure they're mining their security measures in their corporate teams, right? And so we've not had any issues in years, but it is something that we continually be mindful of, including our internal team and our internal docs. Now, fortunately, our team, we know all of our team, but as we grow, we got to be mindful of that, right? There's always a risk of that. Internal theft at a sporting goods store happens from your employees. So we're always mindful, but we've never had an issue. I won't tell you we're blind to it because we look for it. Secondly, there is something called trigger leads, Brandon. And what a trigger lead is, there's a Brandon or Brendan, I'm not sure your name's not up, but Brandon, I think it was. There's trigger leads. Trigger leads are when someone applies. Hey, let's say someone has a baby. As soon as someone has a baby, what do they start getting in their mail? Gerber, life insurance for babies, child credits for your college when they're 20 years from now. There's credit bureaus sell data. When someone applies for a business funding advance, it's not uncommon. There's some shady actors out there who call and say, hey, I've got your package right in front of me right now. You just applied for funding. I'm looking at your bank statements and your application, and I can get you. How much were you looking for? I can get that for you. I just need you to fill out one of our applications. Wait, I thought you had an application. I just need you to send me your bank statements. Wait, I thought you had my bank statements. They're full of BS. They're called trigger leads. We just had a guy threaten to sue us last week because they got a call from a lender. This rarely happens, but they got a call from a lender right away who lied and said, I've got the package right in front of me who you applied with. And they're like, David, we agreed that you guys would not be getting this, selling this data or giving it. And we got them an offer. right? We got them an approval. And we said, no, no, we didn't give that. That person's lying to you. Tell them to prove it. Tell them to send you your bank statements. They don't have your bank statements. They don't have your package. They lie. So we prepare our clients for that. It's called a trigger lead. Once in a while, you'll get a client who thinks, that someone's got their package, and maybe one out of every 100 clients that happens to, unfortunately. But we circumvent that. We let them know that up front. You might hear calls. They're not us. They don't have your information. Don't worry about it. Get on the phone with us. We got your back. So you don't have to worry about it. If you're rogue, if you're on your own, not rogue. If you're on your own, worry about it, because most businesses out there do that. They're in the business of selling anything they don't approve. They're in we had lenders who we worked with for 6, 7 months and didn't realize that they were turning down offers and then funding them themselves, trying to fund them, telling us they were declined, then calling them and saying, "Hey, I can get you under a different name, under a different company name." So it happens out there, shady, scammy stuff. We don't represent any of those companies, so we're not worried about it. But I would worry about it if I were in the industry, that's for sure, because you don't know what you don't know until it happens to you. Natafia, is that right? Did I get your name right? You can
Oh,
unmute
that's happier.
yourself.
Yes, that's perfect.
Tafia, okay, beautiful.
Okay, so yeah, I have two questions.
Yes,
One is basically, because I don't want to make up stories, of course, right? I know you discussed that earlier, and I never thought about doing that anyway. But testimonies, because I'm still pretty new, still overthinking process. I like to do that for some reason, drive myself crazy. But as I move forward, I want to know some testimonies. Sometimes you want to share a little, like this person, of course, not put their name. Of course, I'm going to do that.
sure.
I just say this is one of the clients.
Yep.
Where do I find that? Is there
We,
a
we have
page?
some we have a few testimonials in our social posts. If you go in the Agent Resource Center under um, business funding, then you scroll down to social posts, you'll see there's some social
And that's
squares
on the Instagram,
on the
Facebook?
DAC Resource Center,
Oh, the resource center. Okay, okay.
DACRC.com. Now, we were just talking to Michaela about this today about posting more testimonials.
Yeah,
Most clients do not want their information shared.
of
So
course.
it's usually a landscape company got 50,000.
Right.
Wade Cordell on his Wednesday funding Zooms on Wednesdays, he does funding. He gives stories just about every week. So there's always a couple on there that you can hear as well. So if you
Okay.
tune into the Wednesdays or watch his recording, he gives a lot of testimonials on there as well as fundings. And then we do them on the agent update calls on Friday as well. So as you're plugging in, you'll hear things that we'll share stories,
Yes.
but they're not always published.
I
We
understand.
have asked people to, if their client's willing, in fact, it was part of my social media discussion with Michaela yesterday, was let's come up with a way to teach the agents to, if they have a client who's willing to do a testimonial video, let's get one. And let's have them do a 30 or 40-second testimonial video. Most clients don't want to that I've talked to, but once in a while you have one who go, I'd be glad to. So we'll try to get some video testimonials, but until then, we
I can
just
just put
have.
that in text. Yeah, this the landscaping. I understand people private. I could be a little
Yeah,
private to at
they
times.
want privacy. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
it's not uncommon at all that Wade shares a couple and I share some on Friday. So usually twice a week you can get some testimonials brought up to speed. And
Okay. My question
I'll
too.
ask our social media team to post more on the Facebook page some too, so it'll be a little more regular.
Okay, thank you. And number question two, I feel like it's a silly question because I don't even know about how credit pulling goes with a business, if that's what happens.
Mhm.
But is the credit, I think you said you didn't do that, but is it ever pulled and is that like a hard credit, soft credit? How's that work?
No. So that's a great question. And
Mhm.
our funding training goes through when there's a hard and soft, but just so for everybody's benefit here,
Yeah, I think I watched
everyone's
it.
got a soft FICO score. The soft, no, it's okay. I only say that because I want everyone who's watching who's new to know
Okay,
that if you don't get this, it'll be in the training. You'll hear it again on the
okay,
training.
okay.
Repetition's the mother of learning. It's okay. Sometimes you need to hear it 5 times, right?
Right,
So,
yeah.
soft FICO score is every funding we have that's 15,000 and up.
Okay,
Soft. There's not a hard credit score.
okay.
However, our instant funder, the one that's for 15,000 and under,
That's the
they
giggle?
they do a hard credit pull, but they don't do it until after the client's accepted the money. So they
Okay.
don't do it for everybody. They only do it for the ones who link their banks, get approved, accept the offer, then they do a hard credit pull. And they're not even doing it for the credit. It's weird, but this is their only way to verify that you're really you.
Mhm.
There's some security reasons they do it because there's so much fraud in the instant funding. There, like Chime, by the way, like Chime bank account. If you've ever heard of Chime,
Yes.
you're instantly declined with Chime if you try to get instant funding because they call them burner banks because there's so much fraud in Chime right now. People opening bank accounts, depositing fake money, trying to get loans with that fake money, and it's Chime hasn't figured out a way to stop it yet. So there's instant funders. They do a hard credit pull. There is no business credit pulled. It's a personal FICO score on the individual. They do look into the business, but
Okay.
it's not a business. They're not like pulling Dun and Bradstreet scores or anything like that.
And the instant you're talking about is like it's Giggle. Would that be the instant one?
Giggles instant funding, yeah,
But
yeah.
I'm in New York, so I
Oh
know
yeah, so they don't
that's
fund in
good.
New York or California, so you won't see that at all. But you will have clients outside of New York.
I was gonna say that because I plan on visiting Florida very soon. So I could do business out there, right?
You absolutely anywhere in the United States and Canada. Giggle is not New York and Canada, but you could do New York or larger funding. And
Yes,
if you're focused on
definitely.
larger funding, you're gonna do very well in New York and California.
Okay, thank you
All
very
right,
much.
thank you.
All
Glad
right,
you're here. And I
thank
see Ebony Baker, I believe. Ebony, do you want to unmute yourself? Are you able to?
There it
There you
goes.
go. There you are.
There we go. Hello, you guys. I'm so happy to finally be here. I've been with you guys for a little over 3 months, and yes, I've been struggling to get going, but I'm here and I'm still going. Haha.
Well, you know what? It's that getting going is 90% of the battle. So now that you're going, look out, world.
Absolutely. But my
Yeah.
question is, I'm starting to run into a lot of startups.
Yep.
What do we recommend for these guys with these startup businesses, and how long and what do they need to do to get their funding?
Two things, just like we don't do car loans, this isn't for you. You know the answer, Ebony, already, but just like we don't do car loans, folks, we don't do startup loans, right? So if they need a car
Right.
loan, they should go to their bank or GMAC or Ally or whoever. Startup loans, we don't do. We only fund existing businesses. So the only advice I give to people like that is credit cards, if they can get a
Okay.
credit card, or personal. Um, Loans. There's some like Quicken Mortgage has a Rocket, I should say, Rocket Loans has a personal loan up to 5 grand. There's some Upwork, I think it's called, has up to 5 grand. But if you can get approved for those, you can get approved for a credit card at a higher amount usually. So what I tell someone who's in startup is borrow money from, save money or use a credit card until you get your sales to a certain point.
Okay,
Unfortunately,
perfect. And
that's all
then
we can do.
I love it. And then do we do franchising here?
Well, we fund franchises, yeah. If we
Okay.
fund any type of business at all, except law firms, and so if you're a law firm, you can't get funding with us, and we got some who will potentially do it once in a while, but no, will your Subway, your Taco Bell, and you need funding, we'll give you money.
Okay, I love it. Thank you. Those were
Yep.
my questions. Oh, and
Thank
then wait, I
you.
have one more.
Yeah.
So their business should be like established for like a minimum of 2 years, bringing in what, like how much a month do you think?
Well, if they're a preferred funding, which is our special right now, and you earn more on it, the preferred funding is a 2 year minimum, but we do
Okay.
funding for 4 months old. If they've been in business 4 months and they're doing
Okay.
at least $15,000 per month in their business bank account, and they've got at
Okay.
least 4 months, we've got lenders who will give them money. The more time they have, the more options we have. Not every one
Okay.
of our lenders will give someone business who's been in business 4 months only, but we have some who will.
Perfect. Thank you.
That
That's all.
story I gave about that ice cream shop, they were in business 5 months when we got them their first money. 5 months only. And they ended up expanding and expanding and expanding.
I love that.
Great
Thank you.
question, Emily. Thank you. And is it I believe it says Donita? Yeah, Donita Elmore. How you doing, Donita?
Hi, David. How are you?
I'm doing great.
Um,
Thank you.
Good. Just quick question.
Yes.
I've been an agent for a while here. I'm one of your Michigan people.
All
Um,
right.
I just wanted to know, we pretty much do fund for all industries, brick and mortar. for the
Yes.
most part, right? Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Okay. That's just wanted to be sure. Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
And right now, folks, we got our preferred funding special going right now for our more qualified clients, 2 years in business, 50,000 a month or more, 680 FICO score, no bounce checks. Those clients were getting better than bank offers. Better than bank offers. Literally right now, we have a preferred funding product where you can get $100,000, $150,000, $200,000, $70,000, something, any of those dollar amounts, you get it, and you agree to pay it back in, let's say, 12 months. So let's say you get 100 and you're agreeing to pay back 130 in 12 months. But you pay it off after a week, you don't owe the 30,000. You only pay for the amount of time you've had the money. Banks don't even do that. Banks, if you pay it off early, you pay a big penalty to pay it off early. Not with us. Not with that product. With that, it's the only product we have like that. It's called our preferred funding product. It's very hard to qualify for, but it's a lot easier than a bank loan to qualify for. There's no collateral required. As long as you've been in business 2 years, 50,000 a month, and a 680 FICO score, you can be eligible for our preferred 100% discount product. 100% discount means you pay it off early. You don't have to pay all that interest you agreed to pay. It's wiped. It's 100% discount. Whatever you haven't paid yet, it's gone. You don't owe it now. You paid it in full, and you get your commission. You don't have to pay your commission back. So it's really an exceptional product. Now, don't confuse that, folks. If you go to the training, don't confuse that with our standard funding. Our standard funding is $15,000 a month, 4 months in business, 550 FICO score. We can even do lower than 550 if they got a good business. We can get them funding. Don't confuse it from our instant funding, which is only $3,000 a month in revenue. That's our instant funding. So make sure you go through the training. The Get Started training shows the instant funding and the 15,000 or higher funding. The preferred funding is an incentive we're running right now. So that's not talked about on the Get Started training, but you heard it here. You earn 10% more right now on it, actually, for the month of May. So instead of making 4%, instead of making 1,000, you make 1,100. Instead of making 7,000, you make 7,700, whatever it might be. Any other questions or comments? Matthew DeHame, how you doing, Matt? You got a comment for us? Matt's one of our superstars. He lives south of the equator in Argentina. He's from New Jersey, but he does this from his telephone and through the internet because he's not local. How you doing, Matt? You got a comment for us?
Everybody's local.
This is true.
I mean, we're all Americans. I mean, some of us are, doing this. But listen, I have to chime in. And you mentioned me again, and Nick, of course, my son, who's doing the BizOp on Thursday. Anybody on here can invite somebody they brought on, and the people that are watching this for the first time, looking at this and saying, wait a minute, I'm a little confused. Wait a minute, is this real? And one of our other superstars, Ellen Wynn, mentioned that last time. She's amazing. And she pointed out, it seemed too good to be true initially to her, and as it did to me. But, here where the rubber meets the road, guys, I want to say this from my heart, okay? David mentioned, God a few times. He elicited the creator. We are a faith-based company. And I had one of my agents or somebody was questioning it. I said, we're a culture of genuine, giving and caring, but we also, we're real, transparent. It's the most important thing is you're inside of a company that has the integrity that very few possess. And he mentioned it up front. They want to charge fees and, make money on you. Well, my son is doing this. He just got a deal, and David mentioned I earned half his base pay commission plus a little bonus, because I'm amped up, meaning you're, getting a client with enough frequency to qualify for that. And the structure of the pay plan he put here, it's just, he understates everything. Let me just say, I want to say that because everything is understated. He's not hyping this. It's the opposite. And he's careful about doing it. And I respect him for that. A lot of other companies will promote something to get you to, entice you to participate and join. You earn zero. I mean, if you don't do anything, you earn nothing, right? But I'm going to tell you that if you do put yourself, okay, I can do this, right? Put yourself in the position, business. You already explained why the needs out there. It's huge, the underserved market. And there's, you mentioned the realtors to the business funding agents. It's such a disparity of representation. Businesses need people like you, right? Or me, or somebody who, sees it and says, I can help my local business, or, I know somebody who might need this. And there's a lot of people. So 1 in 90, you get 90 funded clients easily. I'm pretty approaching that, right? Ironically, that's the ratio. So you need to examine yourself and say, is this something I can see myself doing and overcoming the trigger leads? You mentioned something, Brandon. I'm just tying this all together, David, because there's no one on here. There's nobody that was more directly affected by the abusive companies that were representing us and switched and sold my client. I mean, I could have left. Guess what?
It was years ago.
Years ago. But it was 7 years ago, 6 years ago. And I decided, thank God I didn't use that as an excuse to leave. I said, that was just, okay. You know what? It wasn't anybody's fault. But guess what? I'm so glad I stuck it out, because now they're insulating, protecting your client. And they're contacting your new client, protecting them and educating them as to what they might encounter. So I just wanted to reach out, David, and say that. Thank you for doing what you do. Yeah, man. Anybody on here that's new and sees this, just give it a try. But put yourself, put yourself up there and just do it. You're going to be surprised. As long as you apply yourself, be patient, and it's unlimited income here if you do it. That's crazy.
Absolutely. Thank you, Matthew.
You got it, man.
Matthew and his son Nick are regular contributors to Fundings, and Nick will be doing the presentation Thursday night. So based on your relationship alone, Nick just turned 29. He celebrated his 29th birthday with us, doing a presentation a couple weeks ago. He's going to bring knock the cover off the ball, let's say, on Thursday. So I'm working to get everyone I can to come out Thursday to see the presentation. I encourage you to do the same. And when you got someone who's regularly getting fundings and building a team, their personality comes through. There's a boldness in the presentation. There's someone who says, I'm trying to ask a question. Rob, go ahead. If you can unmute yourself, Rob. You can ask your question. There you go. You're unmuted. What do you got?
There we go. Well, I wasn't quite sure how to raise my hand, to be honest with you.
That's all right.
I just happened to see this pop into my email, and I actually signed up some months ago through a friend, and then went on doing some other stuff with his mortgage brokering, and I gave it a look, but I didn't spend a lot of time. But
sure.
I'm in a place.
Welcome back.
Well, thank you. So I thought, hey, look, I'm at a place to where I've just seen millions disappear twice now. I'm too old for this stuff, but I got to start again.
Yeah.
And it blows. I'm happy about it. The criminals, the crooks, we're outnumbered. There's 150 people a month trying to steal from us, one way or another, every month. And so, I like hearing the stories. I love the Argentina, because obviously the cost of living is a lot cheaper down there if you're making dollars. So, I have to look at, so my background is mortgage brokering.
Okay.
And insurance. And I started that with A.L. Williams, if you know who they are.
Yeah.
Way back when. Okay, so I'm a lot older now, on the multi-level, and I'm pretty good with the whole numbers thing. I've just got to figure out, is it a fit? And of course, you get one deal, you feel better. You get 2 or 3 deals under your belt, you start to get the feel for it. I'm not looking at lighting the world on fire. And at the same time, momentum can build momentum.
Absolutely. It multiplies. As Art taught, addition and multiplication, and we multiply as well. Absolutely.
And so, I'm in California. I'm in Santa Barbara.
Okay.
So, LA is right down the road, far enough away that I don't go there. But, I need something preferably I can do from anywhere in the country, because I don't know how long I'll stay here, even though I'm from here. Because if I have to
tell you what, Rob, you're first of all, sorry to hear about the losses.
Yeah.
It is not uncommon, unfortunately. But the good news is, whatever you did to earn it, those skill sets, you know how hard it is to figure out to grow enough to have the boldness enough to go make things happen. You've already done that part. So what other people have to still learn, you don't have to learn. We just have to retain it and protect it from people, right? And I've been there too. You know, I've got my own stories, and there's a reason this business is set up the way it's set up today to protect from those type things. I will just say this. There is no question the numbers we showed were accurate. As Matthew said, we underpromise. I love Art Williams. I'm a big fan of Art Williams. So I've been following Art Williams for decades. You'll hear a lot of things that he says that we say because we've learned how to grow businesses using a lot of the same principles. I only say that to say, you know, 3 people, 4 people can sit down at the same table with the same opportunity, and one go off and make 100 grand in 6 months, and the other 3 make 0. And it's the same opportunity, just like in Art Williams, A.L. Williams. There were people who made millions monthly and a lot who made 0. And so there's no promise of income here, but there is a promise of no loss, and there is a promise this. You're going to find as you go talk to businesses, you know, mortgages. There's mortgage agents everywhere. There's mortgage agents everywhere. There's not business funding agents anywhere. Your bank manager who can't help you and us. There's some telemarketers over the phone. There's some people who will text out some stuff and they work in phone rooms representing some companies that are, but that's our competition. You don't have to worry about when you go talk to a business, they go, oh, I've already got, my nephew's already a broker. Yeah, my son-in-law is a mortgage broker. My son-in-law sells life insurance. We're good. Thank you. Payment processing, you got that. Healthcare, you got that. They're not our 2 lead products. Business funding, you will not have that. So the key is, can a business qualify? If they meet our minimum requirements, 80% of the time, the answer is yes. So that's question number 1. Question number 2. Do they have a use of the funds that justifies the cost? Because all money is expensive. Our money just happens to be more expensive because if they don't pay it back, we can't take their house or their car or their building. There's no collateral.
It's unsecured.
It's unsecured funds. So it's going to cost more. So, but as Matt DeHames so eloquently says, there's no cost if the benefit's up here. If the benefit is I'm going to triple my money, the cost is if I don't take the money, there's a cost because I'm not getting that triple. I'm not getting the inflation of revenue. So there's a cost by saying no. That's the real cost. But for a lot of people, they don't have a good opportunity. They don't have a good idea. They just want to get money to get money. That's not smart. Those people should not take the money. But there's millions of businesses who are doing this, who need funds to grow that. More locations, single location pizza shops. They want a new location, single location coffee shops. They need a new location. Roofing companies who are growing faster than they can fund, and you don't get paid till the roof's on. So you need to have money to buy more crews and buy more ladders and buy more trucks, or you got to say no to the work because you got to get paid.
No, I mean, I've been there too on a personal, I mean, I had rental properties in Tennessee, and multiple buildings and it's like, wow, I'm fully occupied and I'm not making any money, because everybody on the way out the door felt compelled to take an ice pick to a AC unit or shoot
damage something, take
or burn the place
out of the
down. And I just thought this is insane. So
rental. Well, you've got the story, you've got the scars. The good news, those scars with experience. The scars do bring experience, though.
Well,
so
they do. So okay. So if you don't mind me asking, I'm home right now. We're always look, if you're in Argentina, the gentleman, I don't know if he's still on here or not. Mm-hmm. That's all got to be done via the internet, okay? Because you can't build it from Argentina outside of. You got a telephone and you're not locally. You're selling in the States and in Canada.
What we're doing right now is how a lot of people do the business. we call it when you can do it live, it's more effective. You know, Matt, when he comes into town, he goes to Home Depot and he meets every construction guy. He goes, if he's getting a coffee, he goes into the buildings. Hey, I just want to introduce myself. I'm in town. Just want to give you a card. So he takes advantage of being live. There's nothing better than live, but you can build it, and we teach how to build it virtually. We have a 6-phase rollout, and warm market is phase 1. Business owners, half of them aren't in your state, but they know you. So all we're doing is informing. We're not just like you when you were in mortgages. Some people don't need a mortgage right now. So all you do is let them know if and when you ever do, I'm your mortgage guy. Same thing with business funding, but we'll teach you how. But the key is the steps for everybody else's benefit too, Rob, is number 1, if you're actively telling others. Then number 2, many of them are going to qualify. Then number 3, many of them are going to have a need to grow, but the percentage is going lower. The funnel's getting smaller. Many of them are going to have a need that's greater than the cost. You've got a client. And then they usually become a renewal. Every time you do $1,000 in funding, it's really about $1,700 in funding within a year because they take more money. Just like someone would refinance a house, we don't have refinances. They pay the loan off in 9 months and they get another one to get another location or another loan or another loan. You get paid every time they do a loan. That $80,000 funding I mentioned today, it's just another one of them that happened to happen. It was a renewal. It wasn't a.
I live in a small town for the most part. Santa Barbara is not a huge place like Los Angeles. I mean, I remember back in the days, A.L. Williams, there was some guys down there making some big, big money. But when I realized, hey, okay, you know what? The successful people come from areas that have high density. The people that are trying to make it in little towns with that business, okay, unless they got lucky and somebody moved away and created some big monster organization, the people that had 10 million people around them versus 150,000 people.
Yeah, I would say, I mean, that can't hurt here, but I would say that you're looking for Bubba and Barbara. If Bubba in the one Applebee's town, the one Wendy's, the 3 gas station towns, the smaller towns like Santa Barbara, they are a community. Once you get the word out that you're in business funding, it spreads. They actually send you referrals because word spreads. Hey, you need funding, you got to go see Rob. Where in LA, that's a little harder because it's like, so the community feel just like migrant communities or certain cultural communities stick together. Small town business owners stick together. So we find when you penetrate a small town, it spreads quickly. So we encourage small town building. Someone that's got 600 or 700 businesses in it only, look out. They all know each other.
Well, I have to say my vision is obviously bigger than the city I live in. And how
about 100 of those cities?
Well, that's fine, and that's why I look at, okay, how getting the reach, right? Because I could see, okay, or from an advertising and marketing, I mean, there is a lot of information. You can use Facebook. You can. I don't know if you have reps that are using Facebook. I've got to think that you do, and of course, you can pay to target market down to a city with a certain age bracket, businesses, whatever it might be. So you want and get the phone to ring, hopefully. So obviously you have people doing that. You must.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, what I would say, Rob, just because I see some other people asking questions in the chat with me directly, I would say this. Our training goes through how, and as far as your reach, I mean, we are all about multiplication. We're all about you having 100 market leaders and having 10 of them in LA and having all those millions of business, get them all. All I'm saying is if you talk to 5 business owners tomorrow and those 5 business owners are in a town of 20 businesses or a town of 2,000, the town of 20, you're going to get more referrals. The town of 2,000, they probably won't tell anyone about you. But you can get a lot more agents in the town of 2,000 or 3,000 or 4,000. So it's a combination of both, finding the agent growth and also finding the client penetration. And the combination of the two, look out. It's a home run. So Rob, I appreciate it. Welcome back. Come on out to our agent update. Attend tomorrow's funding call and let's keep communicating. We're on these live every day.
Yeah, I am doing some other work, so it's like I thought tonight I'll jump on and I saw this, so
Glad you did.
little by little, but I appreciate your time.
Sure, little by
And-
little, and
and
stay
I'll be
plugged
back.
in. Stay
I'll be
plugged
back.
in, even if you're watching the recordings, Rob.
Yeah,
Glad
yeah,
that-
yeah.
And if you need further conversation, reach out.
Sounds great. I'll be doing that.
Thank you, buddy. My pleasure. All right. And then
Let's
I've
see.
got
Okay.
someone asked about the cost of money if it's deductible. Yes, Jeff. If someone takes an advance and they get 100 grand and they got to pay back 130, the $30,000 is actually a cost because they've sold their future sales at a discount. So yeah, they get to write that cost off. It's not interest expense. There's another term for it, but yes, that is a tax deductible cost because they had to pay it back, that $30,000 cost. So yes, they get to write that off. Okay. Well, folks, that's everything. So all I would say, great point, Matthew, empathize. That's all you need to do. Empathize and help. Thanks, Dave and Sharon. Thank you, Pam and Dave in the thumb. Wow, nice to see you guys. All right. Well, hey, listen, between now and Thursday, if you want to start expanding and growing a team, I can tell you, I was just talking to my daughters upstairs over dinner. I said, can you believe we've now paid out literally 20, $30 million in commission, this little company we started. And it's spread to that type of impact. And one day it'll be $2 billion we've paid in commission, then $4 billion. God willing, there's no guarantee, but we believe this is a God honoring company. And we believe God's going to honor the company in return. Even if something happens to me, it's going to continue to go because it's built by people like all of you who care. And we're taking care of businesses. We got a corporate team that's taking care of everybody. We all get along fabulous. We don't have any internal issues. We keep growing and growing and growing. And we need more agents with the same type mentality who want to serve and get active doing it. We're a team. We are a team. The quarterback may get the accolades. The lineman is the one who kept him from getting sacked. And sometimes you're going to be the lineman, sometimes you're going to be the quarterback. And we appreciate everybody on the team because even the ones behind the scenes and nobody sees the one taping up the ankles and they don't realize the guy can't run without his ankles taped. Unfortunately, there's a good ankle taper in the locker room and we all tape ankles and we all run the ball and we all catch the ball. Everybody plays a different role, but the bottom line is the main role you play is encouraging new agents, informing new business owners, those two things. If you can do those two things, inform new agents and talk to business owners and inform them, then there's nothing that can stop you except your delay of doing those two things. This is not a hard business unless it's hard for you to do it. But it's not a long learning curve. You can learn this pretty quick. A couple hours of training, you know enough about our funding and you know enough about our business to inform others. God bless you all. We appreciate you all. We'll see you Thursday and tomorrow, Wednesday at 2 p.m. I'm sorry, at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. Wade Cordell is going to be doing our business funding pro tips. Come on out and see what he's got to share. Thursday's payment processing, Friday's agent update, and Thursday night is a new business opportunity. Appreciate you all. God bless you. I see some of my